Hey guys, I'm Wayne Keys, the Caveman. Welcome to the Next Stop Wildlife Show Australia. And today, our journey takes us out towards Quakers Hill on the Parklands track, Western Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Today, we're out in the beautiful Western Sydney Parklands again. And look at this mad wattle behind me. How awesome is that? So, we're going to take a bit of a walk along this mad section of the Parklands track, and the Parklands track goes for more than 80 kilometres. It's just a magic little walk, so you should get out there and check it out. Hey guys, you can see out here behind me some mad Cumberland plains, some of the best Cumberland plains going around. So I just swing around a bit there and see all that mad wattle, just beautiful. Let's get out on the walk today on the next stop, guys. Pure magic. Got the weapon of choice, the tripod and camera. First stop on the Parklands brings us to the beautiful red-rumped parrot, or grass parrot as they're also known. And the red-rumped parrots are medium-sized, slender parrots. The adult male is bright green with a blue-green head, a red rump and yellow shoulders and belly. The female is a lot duller, more olive green with a green rump and faint yellow or light green scales on the belly. The young birds of both sexes are a lot duller in colour. The similar species are probably the mulga parrot, and these guys, the red-rumped parrot, they live in southeastern Australia. And here's one of the most iconic cockatoos in Australia, the sulphur-crested white cockatoo, seen everywhere in massive flocks around the Western Sydney. An absolutely beautiful parrot with a crazy demeanour. You can see these guys flying around in circles, hammering upside down, swinging their head around. They're an absolute clown of a bird. And I don't know what the galah got a bad name, and people calling him, you're a galah, because cockatoo is a much more foolish bird than a galah. You can often find this guy around suburban parks and even gardens. They'll feed with other parrots, including eastern rosellas and galahs. And these guys, they mate for life. The female chooses and prepares the nesting site, usually a hollow in a eucalypt tree, like the one that you just seen the male in just then. Look at the beautiful colours of this male, absolutely amazing. Eggs are laid on a decayed wood bed, and the female incubates the eggs while the male regularly feeds her. The young can be fed for a while after they fledge. And these are actually one of the few birds that thrive around where there's land clearing, because they absolutely love the grasslands and mowed section of grasses. And here you can see there's a little flock of them just on the ground here, and this is the area they just love to feed on, all of those little seeding grasses and the leaves off those little grasses. And there is the male and the female right there. Beautiful Western Sydney Parklands, loving it. And here's exactly why they got their name, the red-rumped parrot, also known as the red-backed parrot or the grass parrot. But yeah, the red-rumped parrot is the proper name for these guys. Amazing. And off he goes. Next stop, amazing hunter on the wetlands of the Cumberland. And this is a white-necked heron, a really beautiful bird, and a cousin of the white-faced heron. And there's a few other sorts of herons out here, but they all have one thing in common. They all love the wetlands, and they're all efficient hunters out in the wetland system, and an integral part of our ecosystem. Next stop, an absolute staple of the Parklands, the superb fairy wren. And this is a male in his full breeding plumage, that metallic blue, just gorgeous, absolutely iridescent in the sun. And this is where he likes to feed. And the adult male superb fairy wrens are amongst the most brightly coloured of the species, especially during the breeding season. They have that rich blue and black plumage above and on the throat. The belly's grey-white and the bill is black. Females and young birds are mostly brown above, with a dull red-orange area above the eye and brown bill. Females have a pale greenish gloss, absent in the young birds. On the otherwise brown tail, the legs are brown in both sexes. The male from further inland and in southwest of the range have a more blue on the back and underparts. There are several other species of fairy wren found in Australia. The males of each species are quite distinct, but the female and also the younger birds can be quite hard to distinguish. And these gorgeous little guys, they like to feed on insects and other small arthropods. These are caught mostly on the ground, but may also be taken from low bushes. Feeding takes place in small social groups. In the breeding, the nest is dome-shaped, structure of grasses and other fine material. It's usually placed in a low bush and is constructed by the female. The female incubates the eggs alone, but both sexes feed the chick. Other members of the group will also help with feeding of the young. How cool is that? Beautiful. Quite a large number in this flock of red-rumped parrots down here in the Parklands track. It was just amazing to see. You see a few, about 4 or 5 up in the tree just there, all together. Beautiful. And how amazing are those colours. Not more iridescent colours in a bird than the grass parrot or red-rumped parrot. And it looks like the rest of them are all spread out throughout these dead trees. There's a big hollow tree here, they're all nesting, eh? Oh, next stop we've got the beautiful cardigan, the galah, an amazing animal. So the female had those beautiful tea-coloured eyes, and this one here's a female, she's got the beautiful tea-coloured eyes. One of the iconic parrots of Australia, cockies. Amazing. And they're another bird that likes to feed on all the seeding grasses. And as I said before, they can be found right next to the beautiful red-rumped parrots. Speaking of which, here's some up in the beautiful tree up here. And there's a female right there. You can see how much more dull she is compared to the male red-rumped parrot. You wouldn't even know they were the same species really. The male, look at that vibrancy of the colours and that iridescence. They're an amazing bird, they really are. And there's the reason they call the red-rumped parrot big red bum. Beautiful. Next stop, an absolute staple on the Cumberland, the red-browed finch. Another seed eater, and you'll find him a lot of the time hanging around with these superb fairy wrens on the ground in massive big flocks too. And they're one of the staples of the Cumberland. From out behind the tree, one of our most colourful parrots, the beautiful eastern rosella, another seed-eating grasslands bird. So down at this section of the parklands, amazing amounts of grassland birds. Beautiful. Next stop, the beautiful dusky woodswallow. I love these birds. The mad. Next stop, look at this guy just hanging around. This is the bell miner or bell bird. Some more footage. Beautiful dusky woodswallow. It's a little bit windy. He's struggling to stay onto that stem. How cool is that? They're a beautiful bird. You don't see enough of these guys around anymore. The dusky woodswallow. The dusky woodswallow, Artemis cinereus, inhabit the eucalypt forests and woodlands of southern and eastern Australia and Tasmania. They breed in much the same traditional territories year after year. In cooler southern regions, particularly in Tasmania, they leave these territories in winter and move further up north or inland to warmer climates, whereas birds from further north in Queensland are more sedentary. Like some of our other birds that feed high overhead, much of the time in cool currents, they indulge in behaviour which helps to minimise heat loss. Duskies, along with black-faced and little wood swallows, belong to a group of 3 dark-coloured wood swallows in Australia. that have been very distinctive habit called clustering, where they roost together like a swarm of bees on the side of a tree hollow or other protected cavities. In the nesting season, 20 or 30 birds may cluster together, but in winter, when duskies form larger flocks in some area, the size of these clusters can be quite large. There is one record from Karri Forest, southwestern Australia, where there were nearly 500 birds in a large burnout trunk of a tree. Just amazing. They can imagine that 500 of these guys together, it would have been just like a swarm of bees, eh? They mainly nest in pairs, but there are some records of immature helpers at the nest, particularly the progeny of previous nestings. And they're a real chunky bird with broad triangular wings and a short decurved beak. A dark brownish grey plumage overall with a white outer primaries, distinctive in flight and at rest. The tail's black with white tip broken by black at the centre. Pale underwings contrast strongly with a dark belly in flight, usually in small flocks in open woodland areas. They're really amazing. Gorgeous birds to watch too. And this one's got a little nest just in a close by hollow, and there's a big bunch of these guys. We've probably seen about 20 of them all together, and they've been nesting there in that hollow. Now the next stop's not exactly a native bird. I think this guy's somewhere from Asia or India, the red-whiskered bulbul. See quite a lot of these over in the Asian countries. For some reason they like to keep them in really small cages, which is a bit sad. But yeah, not a native, the red-whiskered bulbul, unfortunately. But here he is. Next stop, it's the grey fantail. And these guys are a feisty little bird. Can often see these guys circling and trying to give you a bit of an attack and giving you the defensive display. They're a very defensive little bird of their territory, very territorial. And they've also got the rufous fantail. It's got the really beautiful rufous brown chest. But this one here, it's the grey fantail. Beautiful bird. Gorgeous, acrobatic little flyer as well. So yeah, this might be one of the last stops on the Cumberland Express for the day. But it's been a real great day, out doing a bit of birding, and plenty of snakes around today as well. But I thought I'd take us for a little bit of birding today on the hike and see what we can find between Richmond Road and Doonside. He's off, and we're off to the next stop, folks. Hey guys, that was the last stop on the Cumberland Express. This beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, absolute bottler of a day, and look at this mad wattle behind me. How beautiful! Look at that wattle. So, if you enjoy the show, give us some subscribes and likes and comments. I'd really appreciate that, guys. So, till tomorrow, I'll see you guys on the next stop, eh? Have a good one, guys.